So Hyperdash just had its first major content update since being officially released, and now that I've played a lot of pubs and a few scrims on the new maps, I wanted to lay out my first impressions in this video. So first up, I'm going to talk about Coast. Now, I think that Coast is exactly what Hyperdash needed. I'm sure it doesn't even need to be said, but it was getting pretty boring logging on to Hyperdash and playing the exact same few maps over and over again. I definitely haven't been playing as much recently just because I'm bored of playing the same game modes on the same maps. But not anymore. Coast has me hooked to Hyperdash like when I first started playing the game. I think you can tell a game mode is good when you got casuals sweating hard as soon as they get in it. Like, maybe it's just because the game mode just came out, but in almost every pub I've been in, there's like this natural camaraderie and teamwork, and it's been a lot less toxic than I've seen other game modes be in the last few weeks. And without a doubt, narrowly escaping the enemy base with their flag is easily one of the most intense experiences in Hyperdash. I do also really like the look of the map. I'm glad they decided to make another map based around water. I think the environmental hazard can be pretty fun, and there's just something I like about riding the rail over water. Now, are there any changes I would make to the map? Now, disclaimer, I am not the greatest player ever. I'm not complete dog water, but I'm definitely not the best resource on how to improve the game competitively. That being said, from my scrims on the map, it kind of felt like a constant stalemate. Like, the most common scenario that would play out would be like a team pushes into the enemy base, maybe they'd get a few kills, they get the flag, but ultimately they die before they can get out, and that would repeat for about 20 minutes. Most games would be ending with like 1 to 2 captures at most, and that would be after the 25-minute play timer ran out. Personally, I don't really have a problem with either of those two things, but the main two complaints I heard in the scrims were A, the games were taking too long, and B, no one was really scoring. Now, I don't think they should make any major changes to Coast, but I do think that they should add more customability to the game mode. Because while the score limit of 5 works really well in pubs, it feels like it's almost impossible to hit in a more competitive setting. Just adding the option to change either of these settings would definitely address a lot of people's concerns. The map is definitely still brand new though, and people haven't found the most effective ways to play it yet. Who knows, maybe eventually it'll be common to see all 5 flags scored. But overall, definitely a very positive first impression on Coast. Now onto the other map they added. So I really like the idea they're going for with elimination in the pit. I really do. I just don't know that they've executed it perfectly. Personally, I really don't like how the 3-round weapon progression works. I think it would be more fun if there were weapons placed throughout the map and you had to fight over them. Maybe the weapons that spawned in each round were randomized. One of the main complaints I heard in pubs on the pit was people not liking being forced on certain weapons. Honestly, I feel like it's impossible to make it through an entire game of the pit without half the lobby leaving. The score limit of 21 is honestly way too high, and they only made it that because they wanted you to have 3 rounds on each weapon, which I'm just going to count as another strike against the weapon progression system they're using in elimination mode. Like, you get to that midway point of the game where it's like Shocks versus Rockets, and half the lobby's going to leave because that's just a cancer matchup and no one wants to be forced onto these weapons. Elimination in the pit is really a game mode that shines in private matches when you're adding on your own mutators. Pistol only on the pit, extremely fun, especially for smaller matches like 2v2s. And though it can sometimes be fun in pubs, it mostly just feels like a shit show. Even with its issues though, I'm still very grateful that it got added to the game because the older content was starting to feel more stale, and the more they add, the longer it'll be till we're sick of it all. Anyways guys, I want to know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below and tell me your first impressions of the map. Tell me if you think my opinion was trash. If you didn't completely hate the video, maybe leave a like. If you want to see more of these videos daily, hit the subscribe button. That's all I've got for today. Goodbye.